Well, good afternoon, everyone. If you are listening to this recording, then you should be in reading 370 with Dr. Slay. And that is me. I am your instructor this course, Dr. Slay, and I'm really excited to be here. It's been a couple of semesters since I have taught this course, Reading 370, but it is one of my favorites because it has a lot to do with teaching writing, and that is what I love to do. That's my field, that's my expertise, and I'm delighted to be here. Actually, this course picks up where we left off in Reading 350. Reading 350 was a survey course. It covered a lot of material, a lot of basic information about teaching literacy instruction, teaching reading. And I believe that when we got to the end of the course, we really did not talk a whole lot about writing instruction. And that's what that's what we're going to do in this course this semester, along with many other things. So my objective today is to introduce you to the course, kind of take you on a tour of what we have in D2L, how I operate, things that I'm going to be doing to support you, and then talk a little bit about what you need to do to be successful in this course. So let me go ahead. You should be seeing my screen already. I believe you should be seeing a screen where it says Spring 2024 Reading and Literacy 2. That's this course. And let's just start at the top. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you, but I'm going to just let you know right now, this screen that you're seeing is my screen. You would be seeing something like this where it says view as a student. You're going to see usually when you open up that you will see announcements along with the title. This is a really important page. I use announcements regularly. Every week, I will post an announcement that kind of gets you focused on what's going to happen for the week. I'll post agendas, announcements, clarifying information, answers to questions, all sorts of various different things. So do make sure that you are able to see these announcements and that you actually go into your profile up here. You should see your name and your picture if you uploaded one. If you did not upload one, this is where you should fix your profile. My profile, that's my picture right now because I'm the instructor, has the arrows to let me know where I am in D2L as your instructor. But make sure that you have a recognizable picture up there because it's nice to know who we're talking to, especially in an online course. I'll be bugging you if you don't, so please get that done. Also up here, I'm going to ask you to set your notifications. Make sure that I get notification of just about anything and everything because I like to know what's going on. But I do want to make sure that you are seeing the announcements when they're updated, when they're posted, et cetera, et cetera. So you can choose how you want to receive information, but I don't want you to ever be in a position where you don't know what's happening. Announcements is how I communicate. So that's your responsibility to stay informed. And let's see what else is up here. I don't think you have to do anything. I think I get to see some of these things here. But those are the two biggies, the profile and your notifications. So the next thing is then that we go to, well, sorry, let me go back because I also want you to see the calendar will list dates of things when they're due. And I've already posted a couple of things on here. So let's go ahead and looks like some people are already starting to do some work. That ding is somebody that just posted on the Padlet. So yippee skippy, people are engaging. So here's the content. We go here first. I'm going to back up one more time because I wanted to show you that you will also see the content. This is what's been revealed to you. It says start here. There's the folder on course home, meeting me, and then what we have in week 1. So I'm going to go here to where it says introductory video. There isn't one posted yet because we're creating it right now with you. But this is where you will find the Padlet. And whoops, I posted the other course. Oh, I am so bad. I thought I changed that. So forgive me for that. I'm going to close that one out and let's get us back on track with the right. Oh my goodness. what happened to, I'm going to stop sharing so I can get D2L up and running again the way it needs to be. I need to fix that. I'm so glad that I clicked on that link because this is really how I test things to make sure they're all running. And clearly I didn't go to the student view to test anything. So I am open. Oops, that's the wrong. Let's get the right semester in here. It said the course was closed. I don't think that's the case. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen again. Yep. Okay. So sorry for that interruption. So what I wanted to show you is you can go here to see the things that have been posted for you. There's nothing in week 2. I'm just already starting to get ready for that. So the easiest way to find information for this course is right here under content. And also know that this is, of course, where your grades are posted. This is where you can, if you want another way to access assignments, discussions, and quizzes, you can do that. But I recommend that you follow what I'm going to show you in content. And because otherwise this can get really overwhelming. And then please know that in the communications tool, you have a calendar and a class list. You will need to get in touch with some of your classmates because you will be in groups for some of our activities. You can email me and your classmates here, and I won't probably use this group tool. I'll just post the groups that I've already created. I'm not sure if I did post them in there. I'll show you where they are. So this page is useful because it gives you a lot of general information, okay? And an overview of what's going on. So let's go to content because that's usually the best way to find things. So what you're going to see right now, and again, you are now in my view. So this is more information than I provided for you, but I want to do it so you get a good idea of what's going on in this course. First of all, here's the overview of the course up here where it says overview. You're going to need to, it just gives you a general introduction. I'm going to let you go ahead and read that on your own. And of course, this course schedule is another way to get to your calendar, and it tells you things that are due and when they're due and that sort of thing. So I think that the best place to start is where I say start here. And I think you already got to see some of this in the announcement that I posted, and it has the introduction Padlet. Let me see. This should be correct. Nope, it's still wrong. So let's find the correct Padlet and get that fixed right now. Let me get this. I teach 4 courses this semester, so it's going to be a busy one for me. So when I make mistakes, this is your Padlet, by the way. Should I make mistakes, which I will because I'm human, please forgive me and just email me and tell me, Dr. Slay, you have made a mistake. Please help me out. So let's or tell me that something's not working, a link isn't working. I thought I'd just fix that. So sometimes I have to check my copying. Sometimes it doesn't take or whatever it is. So let's refresh that. And we're going to go back, and I'm going to check it for you right now while you're on introductions to Pat. And there it is. This is the one that you should be on. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to check to see if some people have posted in the wrong place, which is my mistake. I will try to fix that. I can probably copy and paste their entries. All right, so here we go. Let's go back to the table of contents. Notice I've always used what they call the breadcrumbs, and this is your table of contents, everything here. So we just saw that in the introductory video, and I just fixed the Padlet link. It asks you to post a picture of yourself and information about you, et cetera, and what makes you happy. And a book, something interesting about that you like to read because it's a literacy course. And I love to see what other people are reading as well. Then it goes, I have a tab and it's called the course home. You are going to see this fill up. A lot of these extra modules that you see down here, I will probably embed into our weekly modules, or I'll post them under the course home. But I try to keep general information in here that you're going to find useful. For example, you have the syllabus, an overview of the standards. You can get an idea of what our assignments are going to involve by looking here at assignment descriptions. And again, as I said, you'll be working in groups. I've already created your groups, and then the tab for About Me. Every now and then you are going to find something that will contain Dr. Child's name. So forgive me if I haven't changed that. She is the course coordinator, and we try very hard to work together as a department so that students are receiving the same information in across the board. So it doesn't matter which professor you have. Of course, professors have their own personalities and their own style, as I'm sure you well know. I try to stay organized and keep you on board. I do love this content, as I've taught this course a bazillion times before, but then they suddenly assign me to Reading 380, which is the other course that I now am teaching that you just saw the Padlet for. And then I didn't teach this one for a couple semesters. So we evolve, and we go with the flow as we're asked to. At any rate, here is under the course home, the first thing that you'll see is the syllabus. One of the things that you'll notice is that I post a lot of things through Google Docs. And why do I do that? I can see some of you are already up there looking at it. I do this because things get revised, and it's much easier for me to revise the Google Doc than it is for me to revise and upload and repost and such, because that's how mistakes happen, because I forgot to post the link. This agenda is one of the most important things that you're going to want to look at the very end. And I have gone into my calendar and posted everything on my personal calendar to make sure that I didn't mix things up and duplicate things in a way that made it really challenging for you to get things done, and that it's not overwhelming. But I need to transfer the end of the course right up here. Some of these due dates are going to be moved just a little bit up a week, because what I noticed is that this agenda does not consider spring break. So I need to embed that. So this is going to be adjusted a little bit. The main things are still, nothing's going to change, just the dates over here on the right. And I will let you know when I have revised it so you can go back and see it again. So here we are. I'm going to go back to course home. And you're also going to see a tab on the standards. Standards are important. Standards are important to all of us. We in college have learning standards. We call them student learning, student outcomes that are guided by the standards that are given to us by TEA, and our discipline. Well, our discipline is English language arts. So they give us, as you can see right here, they're the reading standards. Those things are also there, as well as, then they come from the TEKS. Consequently, what you're going to find is this a very long document that's been copied in some form from the syllabus. But I want you to notice this in particular. Everything that we ask you to do in this course is aligned to one of the learning outcomes that aligns to these learning standards from TEA and from English language arts. So there's like 7 different focus areas that you're going to be asked to learn about in this particular course. So it's a full course. It's a lot of information. But you're going to be focusing on reading and writing lessons and its components. You're going to be focusing on being able to serve students with diverse backgrounds, including emergent bilingual learners. You're going to be focusing on finding different texts that you need to use to support your literacy lessons. You're going to be looking at reading comprehension. I think that we talked a lot about reading in the last course, and reading 350, at least comprehension, but this one will go into it in more depth. You'll be looking at some of the strategies to ensure that students are comprehending what they're reading. You're going to be doing a lot of presenting. And I'll explain just a second when that might be happening, because you're thinking, yeah, but this is an online course. How will I do that? I'll get back to that in just a second. You're going to be looking at culturally relevant teaching practices. And of course, inquiry, research, and current issues are really important. So you will be doing something to, I'll provide you with research, but we'll be talking about topics that are important to today's learning, like what's the thing I was like, STR, for example, is a relevant topic. Dyslexia is another hot topic. All of those things are going to surface somewhere in this course. And then, of course, you can read all of these standards as you see them posted here and in your syllabus. So let's go back to course home. I'm talking fast because I don't want to make this too long, but I don't want to make it, I want to make it clear and under for you. Here you will see the various assignments that you're going to be asked to do. This will evolve and update. See, here's Dr. Childs again. I will try to update this as we go through the course, but I just want you to see kind of where you're headed. You don't need to do anything here except just be informed. Um, there are some major assignment groups, like you're going to be doing some blogs where you're doing some reflecting on our readings and important topics to the readings in guided reading, as well as in on the perspective of writing and culturally relevant pedagogy. There's going to be a scenario assignment. You're going to be working in groups to create a writing workshop. You're going to be doing an assessment project. And you're going to be doing a pretty major assignment is a lesson planning, which is a performance-based assignment that you're going to be uploading to both TK20 for TEA to take a look at, as well as for you'll get credit for it in D2L. That's going to take place in the second half of the course, but and many of these are going to take place over time. And I'll be there to support you all along the way. I don't just say, go write a lesson plan and go find it. There's going to be a lot of discussion and stop-in points and such to help you get there. And here's your working groups. You can look at those and you can see that I created these groups using a randomizer that allows you to see, okay, here's going to be my working partners. Haven, if you are listening to this, I butchered your name on the first one. I'm so sorry. I noticed that later and I reposted it. But you can see our groups are about 4 in each. So at last count, there were 20 of us in the class. So I haven't looked today to see if anything changed in enrollment, but if I'll alert you should that change. Um, and how do you find your people? Well, you have the names so you can see who you're there with, but you will go to again to email. You can go to, I say you go to the class list. That's the easiest thing. Go to the class list, find your teammates and click 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's say these 4 students are in a group, then you would say email, and it'll just say they don't give you the emails and such, but then you can write your message and such. And you might even copy yourself so you know where it's you have a record of the emails that you're sending as well. So I'm going to go back here to content. And I know some of this, I'm going fast, so you'll hear me repeat these in future sessions. And then, of course, here's the me part. That is me in vivo. It's my professional picture that they took at the university. I like my fun one better where I was in Mexico. But, and here's my family and such. I didn't put the fun one down here, but, and then here's the task that lots of you are already focusing on. So thank you, thank you. And then finally, here's week 1. I will post a new week every week. I have been most successful since I joined the university in organizing either by modules that are big, long, extended projects, or by posting weekly what it is that what we're going to do. So I will post weekly because I think that at this level, that's the best way to keep track of what's happening. You'll see I'll post when these weeks are going to begin. It's all in alignment with the agenda that I told you about already, the one where I'm just going to revise some dates, but that's the weeks remain the same. There are 16 weeks in this course, and with an additional week in the middle for spring break. At the top, you will see that I'll post an agenda. And the agenda is a simple format, but I'll try to keep it consistent so that you know how to read and get used to my operating system here. So the first thing is you'll see that this is what's going on today. It says I'll be posting this session at the end of today, so it should show up by Thursday if nothing happens to me tonight. So we'll get everything there. The meetings are not mandatory, but I will record them. Notice that I will only have these recorded sessions every other week, starting on odd weeks. So this is the first week, it's week 1. So the next session will be on week 3, which is on January 22nd, because I'm going to move that to Monday since they started our semester in the middle of the week. I'm going to move our recorded sessions to Mondays. That when I say that's when I'm going to record it. And unless I record something in advance, they'll be live on Mondays at 4:30. I do also teach or attend seminars at the Czech Center on Mondays. So Mondays are pretty busy for me. I may not, I may be able to do some work beforehand, but I'm going to post those sessions or have those sessions at 4:30 so that, because I have found that there are students who like to just be able to talk to me and as we speak, somebody just joined us. So hello, Cassie. It's so nice of you to join us. Thank you so much. I'm just going to carry on and then I'll be glad to answer questions afterward. But it allows us a chance to be able to talk, and you can ask questions this way, and it saves you a ton of time if you attend these sessions. I'm going to be truthful. But not everybody does come because they can't or they forgot. Life happens. I totally get it. So I'm going to post them on by the next day. So it'll most likely it'll get posted Monday night, if not on Tuesday. But at any rate, I'll try to get the agendas out earlier so that you at least have a heads up on where you're going for the week. And that's why I'm doing them typically on Mondays so that you can get focused for your week on assignments that are due. Thursdays are going to be unique because these are going to be days where I will have office hours. And as I told you, I teach 3 other courses and I visit students in the field in Anna ISD. Consequently, I'm not always in one spot. And so Thursday, I'm reserving for office hours. It'll be virtual. Here's the link for those. It's the same link you have now. But it's just a time for you to drop in. I would love for you to come and just chat and tell me how things are going. It's a good, if you need something where nobody else might be in the room, just let me know. We'll set up a time. But notice that, so that's something that's important. Office hours are going to be on Thursdays. I'm also going to do something that I've never done in any other course, and actually it was Dr. Childs who inspired me to try this new activity. I want to make sure that you are actively engaged in this course every single week. I cannot reiterate this enough. I have had students in the past who check out for a few weeks because they're busy. Well, the truth is we're all busy. We're all very, very busy, but you are paying tuition and you signed up for a course that you need to have in order to graduate and in order to get to be a certified teacher. And there's a lot of material in this course. So I have found that the best way to keep you focused and on track and not cramming is to post weekly questions and thought bubbles and small tasks that you don't have to spend a lot. These are not major assignments, but it is a form of attendance. And I need to track your attendance and your engagement. So on Thursdays, I will be posting something for you to do in a discussion of some sort. And so I will, this week we don't have one because you're busy getting organized with all of your courses. And I'm also posted some extra things on the Padlet. Let's see if that Padlet's still up there. Let's see. Yeah, it's right here. So you'll notice, and some people are already starting to get some things posted on here. And when I posted the introductions, I only had this column, but I've asked some other questions that I want to think about as we all get focused and working together. So here's the other questions, and that's your work for this week, a good part of this week's work. So at any rate, finish up the Padlet this week, and then join me on Thursday if you would like for office hours. It is not mandatory, and it will not be recorded as well. And then my last section on the agenda has to do with looking forward, what's due coming up, and some things to think about for the next time. So I think one of the most important things is that you get a hold of your textbook. There's two required textbooks. You need them right away, so get those in by Monday. If you have any problems with that, let me know. But your first reading, if you look at our agenda, starts next week. You're going to be reading chapters 1 and 2 of the writing workshop book. Here it is. Let me pull this out. This book is awesome. It's very user-friendly. It's easy to read. It's very, very teacher-centric. It's written by two teachers, and one of them, they're both part of the National Writing Project, which is something that's very near and dear to your heart, to my heart. As I told you, my specialty is writing instruction. So I think you will like this book because it's very practical. So whatever money you end up spending on this is well worth the price. It's something that you'll want to hang on to as you start to think about how you're going to teach writing. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not taught very well in a lot of schools because it's not tested in the same way that reading and STAR tests a lot of other things. The writing test has gone away. It's being tested in other things, and writing is a process. And we're going to talk a lot about what that process looks like and ways to support students in becoming proficient communicators and writers. So get a hold of your books, please. Finish up the Padlets that I've already described, and then begin working on an assignment that isn't due until next week, at the end of the week. So see, I'm already making corrections. See, I love Google Docs because I can just do it in real time. So you'll notice that there's a literacy experience and personal reflection assignment. I know many of you did something similar in Reading 350, but this one goes a little bit deeper and broader. I want you to think a lot about literacy in a bigger sense besides just learning to be a reader. The last course did deal a lot with reading. This one deals a lot with writing. And I know some of you have already taken Reading 360. Some of you may not have by the time you get to this course. So some of you might end up taking it this summer. Yay, if you're not taking this course and the last course and Reading 360 and 370 at the same time. And some of you, I guess, might be. I'm not sure who's teaching it. Maybe Dr. Lowenstein. It's a killer. That's a hugely important course. So you're going to want to pay attention to both. Notice I have deadlines here, and I usually try to put those in red so that they stand out, but that's not due till next Friday. So let's move back to where were we here? There's week 1. And there's our table of contents. Pretty much that's the gist of what I want to tell you. You can't see these units, but I want to show you some of the things that we're going to be studying. We're going to be looking at the writer's workshop in depth. We're going to be looking at guided reading. You'll be doing a presentation in writer's workshop, and you're going to be doing a presentation for guided reading. You're going to be you have a major assignment dealing with literacy assessment, so we'll be talking about that. I already mentioned that there's a major assignment dealing with lesson planning, and reading comprehension's another focus area. Dyslexia modules and differentiating for special populations is another area we'll look at. The dyslexia modules are required by TEA. It's put out by TEA. So when we get to that, I'll explain it more in depth. It's the certificate you complete will be uploaded to TK20 as well. And TEA looks for this. It's part of your certification package. You have a lot of stuff to complete, so that needs to go in there. And we'll be looking at culturally responsive teaching to create equity across all students in your classroom. So here's the focus of what we're going to be learning in this course. The one question that I said I would address that I'm going to talk about right now has to do with, well, how do you do these presentations? Notice that the presentations are going to be due on the days that we have our live sessions. So you can join the live session to be able to present in vivo if you would like, or you'll be able to post them online. And then I will also, so most assignments are going to be due on Fridays. Our live sessions will be on Mondays every other week. Now, there will be some things due on Wednesdays. And the purpose of Wednesday is when you have a discussion or something that you have to maybe read other people's work and discuss and go back and respond to people. So if there's something that's a response-based, I'll have it on Wednesday. So that gives you a few days before you move into the next assignment to get your responses in. That's not meant to be confusing, but there is there is a system to the way that I've set up some of our due dates. And I'm going to get all of those set up more explicitly in D2L so that you can plan ahead. So how can you be successful in this class? That's the last topic I want to talk about right now. So I wrote myself some notes. First thing I want to say is, I've already addressed this. This is an intensive course. There's a lot, just like in 350 and in 360, there was a lot of information. Well, why? Well, why is this such a loaded class? You need all of this information and the work that you're doing in order to pass your competency tests. You have to pass STR and you have to pass an ELA competency in order to go to get certified. And I'm sure you've all heard that our internship program is a 2-semester program. Well, the first semester is internship, and that's when you take your competency tests, just the core subjects. So you're going to do one in English language arts, math, science, and social studies. I think there's art, and there's all different subjects in there as well. I cannot stress this enough, and you will hear it again and again from other people as well. You have to pass those tests in order to go on into residency in the next semester. Most people do, but there's often a handful of people who waited too long to study, or they weren't prepared, they didn't pass the test, etc. So they have to sit out a semester and they can't complete residency until they pass it. So usually they have to wait a semester. So that costs you money and it costs you time. So pay attention to these deadlines. And when I said the word study, some of you thought, oh, how do I study? Well, we have modules. There are certain platforms that you're going to have to go through and do some study modules during your internship seminar. So why do I bring that up now? This course is one of those areas that will help you prepare. So everything I have in here is designed to help you have the content knowledge and practice and skills and pedagogy that you need to be prepared to become a certified teacher. I can't say that enough. You need this information. So how can you be successful? Do the work. Absolutely do the work and do it on time. Some people think, well, I already know that, I don't have to. Well, one, you don't get the grade, but secondly, if you do the work, it reinforces that learning that you have. Reading 350 laid a great, big, huge foundational layer about literacy learning. It was a lot of information. It was called what we would call a survey course. This course goes more deeply into application. The assignments that we have in here are meant to develop your capacity to do a lot of these things that we have already introduced to you in the other courses. So the work is hugely important. It's not busy work. I try my best to avoid busy work because you don't have time for that. Number 2, participate. Participate in the sessions when I give you opportunities to. And if you can't participate because you're not available during these live sessions, participate online, participate in the Thursday sessions, show that you're alive and kicking, and don't make me chase you down because I will. If you, for some reason, get behind just a little bit, There will be an opportunity at the end of the course to be able to make things up, but you won't get full credit. You'll get 50% credit for those assignments that are late. And life happened. We recognize that we're entering flu season and all that. So I know you're going to do your best to keep up with things. So the other thing is that it's really super important to be successful is to communicate. You've heard this before. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Stay in touch with me. Let me know how in my introduction where it says meet Dr. Slay, my cell phone's there. Text me, let me know who you are, what's going on. I told you I teach several other courses, so please identify yourself so I know I can get my head wrapped around how to help you best. Ask questions, be alive and be engaged in the best way that you can. If you usually I monitor pretty closely at the beginning who's doing what. And if you aren't engaged in the class for several weeks, I will probably have to ask you to drop the class because I cannot say this enough. You cannot do this course in the last few weeks of the semester. If you don't get started right away, you're going to have a really hard time catching up. And yet I know you're busy. I know you have other courses. Some of you have jobs, you have families. There's a lot going on. At any rate, so how can you be successful? Do your work, meet your deadlines, participate, and communicate and ask questions. I think that's it. I think I have given you a good overview. Let me show you one more thing. I just thought about that. I'm going to go into week one because I didn't show you what it looks like. In my weekly modules that I put up here, you'll see the agenda that I just posted. Again, it's a Google Doc, so I update it as I need to in case, I make a typo like you saw me do here. Here's the introduction Padlet. Let's see if I got the right. This is the one. That's the link I changed. So, yep, it's there. And let's go back here to week one. Then I also put, you can see, so I usually put this into content information and tasks and assignments. So you'll see I've got our agendas, any kind of Zoom recordings, I'll post that up here, and the tasks and assignments. So you've got the Padlet, and then you have a personal reflection assignment that let me just quickly open that because I don't think I reviewed that with you. So you can see it here. It's an essay. It's not due until the 19th. That's next Friday. That's not this week. But what I want you to do is to reflect in the various areas that contributed to you as a reader and writer and how you felt about it at each stage. What were some of the teaching styles and things that worked, what were effective for you? What programs did you use? What did you like or dislike about how you learned how to read and write? What did you enjoy? What were some memorable lessons? What was difficult for you? What were you reading? What kind of books did you read? What texts still stand out in your mind? And what came easy? And then where are you in your literacy journey today? Are you a reader? Where are you going? How are you as it's informing your capacity to become a teacher? So these are guiding questions to help you. If I think of something else to help you write a better essay, I will let you know. But you're going to post that into D2L. And now I'm really done. So I'm going to sign off here. Cassie, you're still with us. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions, but I was trying to see if you were still on here explaining anything because it's easier to watch live sometimes and stop and watch recorded videos.
Oh, I cannot. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to stop recording right now. Just address that because I cannot. Where did it go? Stop recording. I agree with you 1,000%.